이 시리즈는 우리 교포 친구들이 그들이 바라본 한국의 이야기를 들려줍니다.
Hi, I'm Austin Kang. I was born and raised in Los Angeles, California. And now I'm a chef in Seoul, South Korea. I came here probably now it's like 9 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Wow. I had an opportunity to work here for a little bit. So, I mean, I didn't really know anything about the culture.
Yeah.
I grew up in the States. I was born in the States.
Yeah.
My blood is Korean. So you're curious about, where my parents grew up, where my grandparents grew up.
Wow.
I didn't
Wow.
really know anything about the Korean culture
Yeah.
back in the days
Yeah.
when I was living in the States.
Yeah.
But there's some kind of pride in you because I'm a Korean blood, and I wanted to show that usually it's through food. There's a lot of friends that are just like me, they have different backgrounds.
Yeah.
They would show me their traditional cuisine, and they would be like, "This
Wow.
is our food."
Yeah. Were they doing the cooking, or was it like come and try my mum and dad's food?
Yeah,
or
yeah, my
food?
grandma's food.
Oh,
It's
okay.
always the grandma.
Yeah. Nice. Wow.
I would take them to a Korean restaurant. In LA, there's a lot of Korean barbecue restaurants, and
Wow.
I'd be like,
Yeah.
I'd be prideful about it. I'd be like, hey, let's go eat Korean barbecue today.
Really?
I'll show you what's up.
Wow.
I'll show you my culture. They had samgyeopsal, they
Yeah.
had LA kalbi.
Yeah.
But at that time, I didn't really know the history of the culture deeply like
Right.
I do now.
Yeah. Yeah. So was there a sense of like discovery then, in terms of like you've experienced Korean culture to a certain extent in LA, but what's Korean culture in Korea like?
Oh, it's different. I mean, for me, it was a new country. I never really lived in Korea before, so there's challenges. There's cultural challenges because, I didn't have any friends in Korea, and also there's a lot of tradition in the Korean cultures. In America, everyone's friends, but in Korea, there's that 존댓말.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
really understand that at first.
Could you speak Korean?
I couldn't speak Korean. Yeah, I learned all my Korean here.
Oh,
Yeah.
well done, man.
Yeah.
Wow. Did Korean people expect you to speak Korean and sort of be Korean when you came here?
Well, I mean, at first, because I look Korean.
Yeah.
I am Korean.
Right.
They would expect me to, but I'd be like, hey, I was born, raised in the States. I'm a Kyopo.
Right.
And they're very understanding about
Oh,
that.
right,
And
yeah.
they would actually speak to me in English, and they
Wow.
would really try to help me and show me.
Yeah.
One thing good about when I came here, I didn't have any friends, and I had a culture shock, of course, and I
Yeah.
had some challenges.
Yeah.
But the people here are very family oriented,
Right.
and they're willing to help you out.
Yes.
As
Yes.
like family.
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
That's one thing that really helped me out through the hard times.
Wow.
So, for example, when a friend invites you over to their parents' house,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They're gonna make sure you go out full, right?
More than full.
Yeah, more than full, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, for me, living
Yeah.
on my own, I didn't,
Yeah.
it was hard to eat. I couldn't go out anywhere. I didn't know anything. So going to my friend's house and the parents cooking for me, they'd be so worried because, oh, you're all alone.
Yeah.
It must be tough for you. So they would make sure I eat a lot. They would package everything for me, make sure I have enough food.
Wow. Wow. I have a similar experience. I came here as an exchange student, and partly I'm a Christian, so it was part of a Korean church.
Mhm.
It felt like they did everything together.
Yeah.
And I knew the pastors who worked in the church, the elders. They would they would leave around 5, 6 o'clock. If I was struggling for money and I didn't really know what to eat, I would try to walk past the church around that time And then they would come out, right, and see me.
Mm.
Dan, 밥 먹었니? Oh. And I couldn't really speak. 아직이요. And then, 같이 먹자.
Yeah.
To them, it was like, you need feeding, like
Yeah.
the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
They would be like, oh, we're just going to go some 동네 밥집. And it would be like a feast.
Yeah. It's crazy because like Korean food, it's all like, it's shared.
Right.
You know, you got this big stew, you have all the panchans.
Yeah.
You would, you know, share with your mates,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
make sure you guys have a good time, you
Yeah.
know, with a little bit of soju and makju
Yeah. Of course.
to loosen
Or
up.
막걸리.
Yeah. I'm a chef, right?
Yeah.
So when I cook for somebody,
Yeah.
my philosophy is I cook so people can gather together, have a
Mhm.
good time,
Mhm.
and bring happiness.
Wow.
It doesn't matter what type of cuisine I cook.
Mhm.
You know, I'm not trying to prove anybody anything.
Wow.
As long as each person can get along
Yeah.
in this place
Yeah.
and have a good time eating food and very conversating and good energy, that's I feel like I accomplished what I needed to accomplish.
Wow.
Yeah.
So was there anything when you came to Korea, or has there been anything in the 9 years where you've gone, oh wow, and that's been a bit of like a challenge for you to eat, or a challenge to even taste? Have you tried hongo?
Oh yeah.
삭힌
Actually, I've liked hongo.
You like hongo?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I went down to the like Jeollado,
Yeah.
Mokpo area.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had some hongo there.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Was that the first time you tried it?
I tried it in Seoul, but
Okay.
then I kind of wanted to taste it down in the south.
The original,
Yeah.
the OG hongo
Yeah.
kind of thing.
I mean,
Wow.
they say it tastes everything tastes better in the south.
Yes.
So
So yeah, what has that journey been for you, and what does Korean food mean to you?
I always wanted to learn Korean cuisine, but honestly, I can look at a book and just make Korean cuisine. I really need to know the history.
Yeah.
Really know where it's from.
Right.
You know, from the ground up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I asked my mentor at the time, hey, do you know any place I can learn Korean food the right way?
Wow.
You know, farm to table.
Right. Wow.
So he introduced me to this family that really, really tries to protect the tradition of Korean cuisine. And their philosophy is all about healing. So they wouldn't ever use anything that's, you know, processed. Or they would always have to grow it. They would always get something that's wild.
Wow.
Yeah. Like a doenjang would take 5 years, 6 years because fermentation, it's a very, very, very slow and sensitive process.
Is that very different from like the commercial doenjang that we buy in like a
No.
packet? It's completely different, right?
That's you can't compare. You can't make a doenjang in like 5 days. It takes years.
Wow.
You know, and the health benefits, it's amazing. You know, the probiotics, you know, for your stomach, your intestines. It's good for your skin. You know, it's good for your diet.
Wow.
It's crazy how something rotten or like
Yeah.
I mean like fermentation,
Right,
right?
yeah.
It's rotten.
Yeah,
You know, you eat it and it has so much benefits for you.
Right.
Yeah. I stayed in Jeju for a year, pretty much during Corona, just trying to learn about the cuisine, the history, and eat the food. My body's changed after that. I was very like stressed out. I was very skinny. I didn't feel healthy mentally.
Yeah.
But going there, eating eating the right Korean cuisine,
Yeah.
just living that lifestyle, the farm lifestyle, I felt healthy. I felt good. I would come back to Seoul and people would be like, Austin, you look great.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. And do you feel like less stressed? Do you feel like?
Yeah, I was less stressed over there because you're with nature. It's crazy if you're around nature and you farm and you eat good, healthy food. It can really change
Right.
your lifestyle, your health,
Right.
you know, your mental.
Yeah. But it also tastes good, right?
Oh yeah. I
It's
mean,
like-
that's like the standard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has to taste good,
Yeah.
right? Feels like you're going on this discovery of like what Korean food really is, like
Yeah.
the depth of it. Do you feel like it helps you to like sort of almost discover your Korean identity through the food?
Oh, definitely. Before I came to Korea, I would show my friends about what I thought Korean food was about. If I can go back and show my friends now, then yeah, I think I'd be very prideful of my heritage.
Wow. If there was one Korean dish that you'd feel proud or like would be an absolute essential to show to maybe a foreign friend who hasn't tried Korean food, or maybe they have tried Korean food but it's something that you'd want to show to them or you'd want to cook for them, what would that dish be?
Oh, there's so many. I mean, what I would show them is probably more than the cuisine is the doenjang, gochujang, and then the kanjang. They're pretty much the foundation. So if you have those three bases, you can make anything. Right?
Wow. How about 묵은지 and like aged kimchi and stuff like that?
Oh yeah. So in Jeju, there's a family from where I learned that. They have a kimchi, a 묵은지, that's 11 years old. 11 years old.
Wow.
Crazy thing is, take a bite of it, it's still crispy. You think of 11-year-old kimchi to be like rotten and like
have no like bite to it.
Yeah, no bite to it. It's just, but no, it's fresh. You eat it and you're like, wow. 11 years and the condition is like that. If you use that kimchi as like a kimchi jim or a tang, oh man, it's amazing.
Wow.
If you put some stock into it, put kimchi, put some pork in it.
Oh my days.
And
My wife makes 묵은지 jim with, she puts like slices of potato in and pork. It's usually with my mother-in-law's kimchi, which I go in the house, if I come home and my wife has set the table, and I can smell if it's my mother-in-law's kimchi or if it's not. And recently I was like, I don't think that's her kimchi, just from the smell. That's my favorite kimchi because it's like the one I've become used to, but when it becomes like 묵은지 and it's older and it's more aged, you put that into the kimchi jim and then it becomes like sweet with like the stock and the potatoes get this flavor in them that's like, I can't experience that in any other dish, I feel.
Aged kimchi, you need aged kimchi, and the more it ages, and the better the taste.
Oh, right? I feel so hungry. Wow. What are 3 things that you love about Korea, having lived here for 9 years?
There's so much that I love about Korea. I mean, I'm still here. I mean, I've been living here for 9 years, and wow, time flies.
Did you expect to live here for 9 years?
No, honestly, I expected to like stay here for 6 months, go back to the States.
Wow.
But there's so many things I love about Korea. But the 3 things is the people. Very family oriented. They helped me through the hard times. The culture, the tradition, the landscape of Korea. And the last part is the history. History, it's amazing. You heard about the Korean history. They've been through many wars, but they fought back, and now they're one of the top countries in the world.
It's kind of crazy, isn't it?
Yeah,
such a short space of time as well.
Yeah, in a short amount of time. For me too, honestly, I have slumps, and everybody has slumps. Everyone has their bad times, but we have to fight through it. And just seeing that history and how a country became one of the top countries in the world, that motivates me personally to be one of the best I can be. Yeah.
Can like something in the whole country can inspire you in like your personal life, right?
Yeah, it inspires me personally.
Does Korean food inspire you?
Oh, I mean, we talked about like fermentation, the history, and
I can see like the excitement come out when you talk about it. It's amazing.
I mean, I can see so much more about Korean cuisine, but I think that's going to take up too much time, right? So,
I really, really, really want to go to your place in Jeju.
yeah.
Oh my days.
It's
Wow.
it's amazing. You know, you put so much time and effort into this chang or to this cuisine. I don't know. Can it taste bad if you put so much time, effort, practice, love into the cuisine?
No.
Right?
No.
And that's
Passion.
Korean cuisine.
Right.
That's Korean cuisine.
You said earlier your kind of philosophy for when you cook or what cooking is for you is when you cook for people and you bring them together and they have a good time together and the joy that they experience. What does that feel like for you when you're the person who's cooked for them? What is that feeling like?
Oh, I mean, that makes me happy too. This is why that's why I'm a chef, you know. I cook because they're happy and it makes me happy.
You're my faithful friend when I feel like I'm on my own. But you remind my heart it's darkest right before the dawn.